Hello guys, my name is Armin. In today's video learning SketchUp, I want to show you how to utilize the shadow window. This is kind of an underrated window. People don't use it and don't pay attention, but basically it's going to add a lot of depth to your uh, geometry or to your model. It basically how to create the shadow, how to cast the shadow, how to remove the shadow, and much more. Let's review the SketchUp model so we can get more familiarized ourselves with this window.
So today we want to look at the shadow um, window. This is a very important piece. It's very easy to review, but it's very important because it's giving depth to your model. It basically make it more presentable. It gives it more realistic view. So I just have a simple few objects over there, like a cubic, like a cube, just some like a wireframe, polygon, and a few circle, and I have a surface. So we have learned that we call the surface edge. And then basically these are kind of like the edge and the surface that all we have over here. So the first thing, let's see where we can find the tray for the shadow. So if you don't have it over here, head up to window. You have a default tray, and basically you can see you can turn these on. It's gonna show up for you. And also, if you want to add it to your toolbar, you can right click and you can click on the shadow, basically add it over here for you if you wanted to add it on your large toolbar. Let me get rid of this one. Okay, so the first thing that we want to go through all of these one by one and see exactly what we need to review. So the first thing to turn on the shadow and start working on it, you have to turn on this mob basically icon. So this is the shadow. So this is a hide or show shadow. So if we remove it, it basically remove. You don't see any shadow, and there is no light or impact on your model. It's basically shows a little bit of the camera angle. So any side of the camera that you move around, that's going to be a little bit lighting shining on your objects, and you are going to be the basically the source, or the camera angle is going to be the source to showing that light, so it doesn't show anything. When we want to basically start this, we hit shadow. So as soon as we start shadow, you can see these UTC, which is a universal time. And then since I'm in California, I believe we're like -8 hours behind the universal time. So that's what is set. The next one is a time of the day. That's a month. Let's say July, June, May, April, March, February, January. So you can see, as soon as I am basically moving these, the location of the sun is going to change based on the month, and also you'll be able to change it during the day, so you can kind of move this or you can kind of move this ones to do it. And this is going to be more specific date if you're looking for it, and to make it exactly what is shown at that time, at that day, how was the shadow, you can kind of use this really accurately to depict what is going to be shown at that time, at that basically time and date of the year. The other thing about the UTC, so if you import a model and geolocate, I think it's over here. Yeah, if you geolocate the model and basically add a location exactly where your model is, I think this is going to get updated and match exactly what that time zone is for that location that you geolocate your model. So this is pretty simple. If you want to have a specific time, let's say September, noon, and then like any specific date, also like end of December, if now September, because it's kind of changed. You can see if I go from 5, like the first week, let's go back to September. Let's say the first week of September to the last week, you can see even the shadows, the length of them a little bit changing. So that's going to be really helpful to depict exactly what you want to show. So this is simple, universal time. You can pick your location, and then these are the exact month, date, and time that you can be even more specific, exactly the time and date that you want to show your shadow. The next one that I want to take a look at is basically these light and dark. This is looks like you shining a light, and you can dim the light or basically make it really bright. So on the dark side and on the light side. So the good thing about this is it's gonna give a little bit more realistic view and make it more dramatic. If you want to show a specific area, want to show a specific location, you can basically play with all of this in order to show all of them all. If you go all dark or the light side, you're gonna go up a little bit more. I always leave it on 50-50 and kind of play with the dates, and also with the time to basically cast exactly what those time of the day or the day show how the shadows are. The next one that we're going to take a look at is the display. So as we talk about these open area in SketchUp called ground, and this is the face because this is what I created, right? So this is the face of the basically that I created, and this is the ground. So if you want to see the shadows on the faces of the object, you can turn that on, and you can see basically this is the shadow of the surface on the faces. So these are all the faces that creating shadows. If I want to see all of those go on the ground, you'll be able to see that basically these goes through from the face and the ground, and you can pay attention to these. Right now I'm going to do the face off, and then only I have it on the ground or vice versa. And the main thing is, if you notice, I don't have any shadow for this guy, and the reason is this is the edges, right? So the edges or the lines, I didn't turn it on. So if I want to see that, I need to turn that on. So you can see basically as soon as I turn that on, I can see the edge shadow also on my face, on my basically the actual surfaces. So just be a little bit pay attention to this, because sometimes you guys draw something like this, it's the edge but you are not seeing the shadow. But by turning these on, you'll be able to see, and also you can kind of adjust the month and time, and you'll be able to see what's going on. And right now if I want to turn it off for the faces, you can see even I don't have my edge cast a shadow on the faces, right? So everything is gonna be for the edge and for the ground, nothing on the faces. So if I do the faces, comes back on. You can kind of play with these and kind of show if you have like a bunch of buildings, you want to show how the shadow is gonna look at this certain time of the day. You'll be able to kind of play with these items. The last one is basically this is the use sun for shading. So right now we kind of working with the lighting, turning stuff on and off, changing everything, changing the time of the day to exactly how the lighting works. But if you want to use the exact sun, you can kind of turn these on and basically kind of looking for the day. So basically this is shows where the sun is shining based on the day, and time and month. So what I would suggest, if you're doing anything interior, just turn the sun off, work with this. If you do something exterior, if it's a logistic side, if do you have any specific side that is at the exterior outside of the building, just use the actual sun, and then make sure you select the month, you select the actual time of the day, so you can kind of cast the shadow to show exactly what it looks like. So it's a very easy and simple, but it's very important to understand and see how you can basically showcase some of the area or make them a little bit more um, kind of stand out. If you have like a specific building, specific area that you want to cast a shadow over some other area, to show people how it's gonna look like. Let's say if there's a building, there's a smaller building behind it, and you want to show how to cast a shadow over that building. Or even if you work in an interior, you have some area that you draw lighting, and you want to show how the lighting works in a different like angle. You can kind of play with this and kind of show it to the end user. Hope that you guys like today's video. Make sure to subscribe and leave a like, and I'll see you guys in the next video.